I want to get something out of the way first of all, because the one thing that you hear blamed on President Assad over and over, he gassed his own people. I will tell you he did not, and I'm going to tell you who did. Turkey, through their covert intelligence agents working with Al-Nusra, which is Al-Qaeda in Syria, launched the gas attack on the Ghouta suburbs of Damascus. And I could give you an entire discussion on that, but I just want to run through something because I'm very big on timelines, and timelines give you a lot of information. This all occurs in 2013, leading up to the Sarin Gas Attack. And you'll see, this only covers about 2.5 months. This is all happening in rapid succession. May the 30th, there is a raid carried out by Turkish authorities. Now, this is before they had fallen under a total dictatorship. And so there still were some upstanding people in Turkey, and they raided the homes of a dozen Al-Qaeda members in Turkey. And they came up with a tremendous amount of evidence about a major undertaking by Al-Qaeda to get sarin gas, to move it into Syria, and to unleash it on Syria. And in fact, 2.2 kilograms of sarin gas were in the hands of the Al-Qaeda people, and they were found out. Okay, so this is May the 30th. June 20th, three weeks later, the Defense Intelligence issues a report that was disclosed by Wikileaks. They said Al-Nusra has a major sarin production unit. They were not talking about 2.2 kilograms. They were talking about thousands and thousands of pounds. And this is the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is a pretty good outfit. August the 13th. Now this is interesting. This was revealed by Pulitzer Prize winning author Seymour Hersh in his book, The Red Line and the Rat Line. There are others who have written about it. And now Seymour Hersh, if you don't know, he was the guy who disclosed the My Lai massacres in Vietnam. He disclosed the Abu Ghraib misconduct. He's a guy who's broken some of the biggest stories on military foreign policy things that have occurred in recent history. He discusses a meeting that was called by the rebels in Turkey. It was held in Turkey. It was held with the Central Intelligence Agency, with MIT, the Turkish intelligence agency, with the various terrorist groups that we call the moderate rebels. A moderate rebel, I think, is somebody who slices your head off with a moderately sharp knife. That's my definition of a moderate rebel. But anyway, now this is interesting. The rebels gather this meeting, they all come together, and the rebels announce, they said there will be a war-changing development, and it's going to happen almost immediately, and the United States will bomb Syria. The United States will openly attack Syria. Now, the Ghouta attack, the gas attack, occurred on August the 21st. How did they know on August the 13th that the United States was going to bomb Syria? The United States hadn't said anything about bombing Syria or attacking Syria. How did the rebels know? You and I didn't know. How did the terrorists know that the United States was going to bomb Syria on August the 13th? Not only that, but I don't think the rebels were the only people who knew it. I think the intelligence agencies knew it. And there was an agreement entered into that there would be a massive push of high-grade weapons into Syria. The purpose of that was for the final march on Damascus. Now look at this. They've been fighting for 2 years. Who would have imagined that there would be a final march on Damascus? It's impossible without the United States launching an overt attack, an open war on Syria. I love timelines because they give you a lot of insight, and you can see what happens. The rebels knew we were going to go to war before the American people knew we were going to war. That tells you something about how this war is run. And it also tells you that it was not President Assad who launched that gas attack. And I could go into that forever. I'm not going to. But you look at that and you say, okay, that was not him. And remember, this August 13th meeting is held in Turkey. Okay, so it was Turkey and it was Al-Nusra that launched the attack.